Hello, welcome to the Pleasure Beach and welcome to our favourite park down here in Blackpool. Okay, it's not going around at the moment, but it will be going around shortly. Now, we're actually not going to start with Icon because we understand it's got free trains and that it probably has quite a good throughput. So we were going to start with the Pepsi Max big one, but it does possibly look like everyone else is starting there. But let's have a look around. We expect it to be busy today. It is half term. We've got the children with us. And we're expecting a lot of rides. The park's open until 7 o'clock tonight. It's just on 10 o'clock now. But yeah, I think the big one is still probably the best place to start before heading over to Icon a little bit later. So that was the big one done, and I tell you, actually that was a really good ride on the big one. It was quite smooth. We were in the first car at the front. The only thing we'll say is we did get split up from one of the children because the disabled kind of access and the fast track kind of puts them anywhere. There's no blocked off areas. So we did actually get separated from one of the kids. I'm not too bothered, he's alright. We found him afterwards. But no, really good. There's a lot of air times, running really smoothly. I know they kind of start off with the sandbags, which they always do, and then they remove them, which is a bit slow process in the morning, but really quick. We've then headed over to Steeple Chase. We've had about a 10-minute queue in. We've had a really good look at Icon as well, because there's not a lot of Icon we've been able to see walking around the back end of the park through a Nickelodeon land, but the area of Icon around here looks amazing. The twists and turns looks incredible. We've looked over at the station. The queue line is pretty much full, to be fair. Not that we expect anything else. I know it has free trains. It looks like it's only running 2 at the moment. Whether or not they change that, we're not sure. It's a really busy day here at Pleasure Beach. It's about 11:15 now. We've done the big one and we've done Steeple Chase. They've only been open for 45 minutes, so it's not too bad. Every ride is due to be open today, which is absolutely fantastic news, because we want to get on every single ride. Well, certainly every single ride we can. The park is open until 7 PM. And yeah, we'll have to see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. It is hot. We are in shorts. It's Kurt. He is epic. He is absolutely epic. He should be, without a doubt, presenting this every single time. Head over to potential Icon queues. I think Icon's going to be about an hour wait by the look of it. So Revolution, it'll kind of build our what should we call it, our launch senses up a bit, because I think the launch is very similar on that to what it is on Icon in terms of the motion and the kind of the pace that it goes. Obviously we're expecting Icon to be a little bit quicker, but let's go out, let's go around, let's have a look at the queue times and find out. This is where the park could really do with some queue boards. So that was our spin on the Revolution, formerly the Iron Brew Revolution. That's how I first remember it, when it was orange back in 2007. It's the first time I rode that, which is the first time I actually come to Blackpool Pleasure Beach. So I actually haven't been here quite as much as what I have the local parts, because we're from Portsmouth. It's quite a trek up here. It took about 5 hours to get to Blackpool, and it was a bit of a mission. It's always a bit of a mission with the motorways. But Revolution, one of our favourites. This one, Your favourite, isn't it?
Yep.
Is it your favourite ride here?
Yep.
It is your favourite ride here?
Moment.
At the moment, what other one might be your favourite?
Icon.
So we're just about to head over to the Icon queue now to see whether or not that becomes his favourite. But at the moment, Revolution is his favourite ride here. I have to say, every time I get in Revolution, you never went on Corkscrew, did you? No, it reminds me, because you get in the car, it reminds me of the Corkscrew at Alton Towers because of the type of Arrows ride it is. Clamber in and put your belt on, and you know, you're really, really deep in the car with big high bits around you, and that's kind of what it reminds me of. But we are now going to head down. We had the toilet breaks. We're going to head down now, and we're going to experience. That's the streak. We're going to experience Icon for the first time. So let's go do it. Let's go find Icon. So here we are, the Icon queue line is right here. It's quite long, but we're going to get in it anyway. So that was Icon, and oh my god, that is a special sort of ride. Now then, before we get into the ride itself, we actually decided to queue for the back row. For those that don't know, it's a 1.3 height restriction with 1.5 at the back. Apparently it's got a slightly different restraint at the back, we did ask, and it's got a very slightly different restraint, which is the reason for it. There is another, I've got a bit of mist here, there is another rule as well that children need to sit on the right hand side and they can't sit on the left hand side, and we still don't actually know why the reason that is, but we will try and find out as the day goes on. But wow, honestly, wow, what an attraction. The people moaning about this, I have no idea why. I have no idea what you're comparing it to in the UK. But certainly in the UK, that is a really unique experience. You know, the twists, the turns, and the airtime, particularly at the back. We are going to ride it again, see if we can get sort of closer to the front of the train without being at the front. But the airtime at the back is absolutely mental. Going around some of those corners and going around some of those bumps. Let's quickly get through here. Nearly dipped down with it then. What an incredible ride that was. The airtime on there was absolutely insane. And look at some of the detail. I have to say, the way it interweaves between the rides, really you don't notice too much because you're so busy on wondering which direction the track actually goes in that sometimes you you kind of forget where you are. Here it comes again. We'll catch it as it comes around. Absolutely mental. The best thing was as well, we kind of queued from where it is now. There we go, it's thought we better catch the launch one more time. So that's launch. That's launch into the mist under the kind of the exit area here. And you do that twice because you launch out that way and you launch back through it the second time as well. From there, you're up into the high element just behind us. And then it's kind of duck and diving right the way around Steeplechase. There is some, I mean, going over the top out of there down into the Steeplechase area. It's just simply insane. Absolutely mental airtime. Whether that's just at the back or not, we're not sure yet, but we are definitely going back on there later to find out. Without a shadow of a doubt, going back on there later to find out. From there, you kind of go around the Steeplechase areas, a lot of lefts, a lot of rights, very, very tight turns. I mean, the actual track profiling is something else. It's something I've never experienced on any ride. You know, I've not been to the European ones, so I've not experienced it there. So, you know, for me, that is something completely new. First element is really odd. Really odd the way you kind of hit that. You hit that at such an angle, you literally feel like you're coming out your seat. And of course, once you're coming back down, certainly on the back row, it's just, honestly, you're just all over the place. You don't know whether to wave your arms in the air or hold on tightly. It's really something special. From there, you come back through, you then head back down to the second launch. Coming into the second launch, that bit we showed you just there was, again, you know, out of your seat moment as you then start launching to the second part. You've got the near inversion turn, bit more mechanism in there, and then again it's just left and right, and the way the track profiling goes, you know, these are really tight turns in quite large areas, and you just kind of double back on yourself, and it is something really special. You know, we've heard that people said it's all right, it's not that great. Be rude not to catch Revolution as we come around, but I'm sorry, that is something else. 0.5 metre for the back row, and then it's 1.3 metre for the rest of the ride. However, children need to sit on the right hand side. We know why the restraints are apparently different at the back, which is the reason for the 1.5 height restriction, but we don't yet know about the children on the right. And you can hear Revolution again in the background there. But no, Icon, that was Icon. We're going to get plenty of footage of it for this vlog. Don't worry, make sure we cover every single angle as the day goes on. It's only 12 o'clock, we need to go and get a drink, maybe some donuts. Maybe, I'll say check out the Avalanche Queue, but I can see that from here. That's a no for the moment. And of course, dark rides. You know, we come here for the dark rides. There are some cracking dark rides at this park, from Alice in Wonderland to the Ghost Train, and of course, our favourite dark ride in the country, Wallace and Gromit. Now, it may not be the best in the country because we have Hex, but Wallace and Gromit is definitely at the top of our list of things to do. And should we head there next? Yes. Wallace and Gromit next. So a huge open space, in fact a couple of open spaces here. As you see, the wild mouse has gone, sadly, we're not going to dwell on it too much because the wild mouse has gone, you know, there's nothing we can do about it. I don't think there's anything the park can do about it. You know, it's worth remembering that the park spent a lot of money on the wild mouse the last couple of seasons, and then obviously, you know, it's failed more health and safety checks, it needed more work done to it, and just cost viable. It's just not worth doing, and I'm actually not surprised the park closed it. I'm a bit surprised it kind of went through the magnetic brake change, because that must have cost them an absolute fortune. You know, it's disappointing what people are saying about it. It's disappointing the way some of the enthusiasts have reacted to it. You know, do you not think if the park could have got it open for a final farewell, they could have done? It shut quite early last season, and you know, I think it was pretty obvious that the writing was on the wall. I got on it plenty of times. It was one of my favourite, if not my favourite ride here at the Pleasure Beach. Wallace and Gromit aside, because Wallace and Gromit, it's just untouchable from everything. And it's a shame it's gone, but hopefully future developments will see something really special come. Now, where we're standing now is where the Trauma Towers used to be. So another ride that, well, I think the ride was removed a long time ago. There used to be a Tagada inside of the Trauma Towers. You had a little walkthrough. You know, we only went it once back in 2007. There's a little walkthrough area, and then you got on the Tagada at the end, and it was a carnage ride, absolute carnage. But the building itself has been here ever since, even with the Trauma Towers all over the front. And it's now gone. Big grass here for people to sit on and have picnics. Actually, no, they can't have picnics because you can't bring food in here. So big area for people to sit down and eat from their gourmet burgers over there. And a southern fried chicken, which is good news. And this is the back of Alice in Wonderland. So we've just done Icon. As we said, actually, the queue for Icon was pretty much full. It's 15 minutes. We're now over here, this side. I think we're going to look at Alice in Wonderland. We're going to look at the Ghost Train. We're definitely going to look at Wallace and Gromit once we've got a drink. And, you know, do some of the dark rides. It's quite hot outside, it'd be nice to keep cool inside. And then, of course, the debate comes on whether we do Valhalla. We are definitely doing Ice Blast today. We've definitely got to get back on Icon again. I think we'd probably like to get on the Big Dipper or the Grand National. I'm not sure we'll get both in, but we'll see. We'll see. The actual queue for Grand National behind us isn't too bad. The Nickelodeon Street's only on one train, so we're unlikely to get that in because the park is actually really busy. But we're having a cracking time here, you know, and Icon is a massive highlight. It's a massive highlight for anything, but a real top highlight on how good Icon actually was. But, you know, it's a pleasure beach, it's full of roller coasters, it's full of things to do, and it's only 12:30. So let's crack on. Let's get some more rides done. We know, you don't particularly like it. However, we love it. So it's definitely time for Wallace and Gromit.
These the bearings. Did you check the brakes, lad? Porridge today, lad. Tuesday. Machine, I've got patent pending on it. Oh, that's quite enough. Capable of over 125 RPM. That's rabbits per minute.
Rabbit bubble, triple straight on over
Well, that went as well as could be expected from it, didn't it? No,
So we started there with Wallace and Gromit. That was our first dark ride of the day. And you know, I know there's not a lot of love for Wallace and Gromit, and I'm really sorry, but we really love the ride. We think it's absolutely amazing. I mean, what's not to like? We like Wallace, we like Gromit, we like it as a ride. Yeah, it could have some more, I don't know, maybe it could have some more moving parts, but as a story, it's just amazing. The lighting's brilliant, you know, it takes out perfect bits from the film. The film's kind of plasticine anyway, so you're not going to get miracles from it. Really enjoyed it. From there, we've come down to the Big Dipper. And there's loads of families still enjoying it, and they'll come off and they'll still be loving it once they come off. So that's another couple of rides done. I think at the moment we're probably going to head and maybe look at Alice in Wonderland, perhaps look at the Ghost Train. We know they can get quite long queues. Alice in Wonderland was actually due to be late opening today. We're not sure if it has opened yet. Again, queue time boards, Blackpool, please get some queue time boards, give us an idea of what's going on, because at the moment we are a bit of a guess. The Grand Prix still here. Of course, that was penned for removal a couple of years ago when the first rumours about the wild mouse came around that would be leaving. That was also penned to go as well, but that survived. And, you know, again, Icon and the other rides kind of go perfectly around it. Let's move on though, let's move on, find some more rides. I think we need to get some lunch. Do you like the Big Dipper? Yeah, it's good. There we go, Big Dipper.
No, it's uncomfortable.
So he sat down, much like we did on Wallace and Gromit, and said, oh, this is really comfy because it's got lovely padded chairs. But he was screaming halfway around, so he kind of took that one back and now thinks it's uncomfortable. But that or the Grand National, what do we think?
That's much more comfortable than Grand National.
The double drop is absolutely carnage. Total carnage double drop. Now that's the bit that hurts me. I think before we go on any other rides, I need to go to the toilet because that's honestly, that's knocked it out of me. Let's find that, let's find some more attractions. So at the moment, Alice in Wonderland is still closed. The Ghost Train's got a massive queue because it's one of the only other rides kind of around here in the dark ride area. Over here we have Valhalla. You can see the fountains going in the background. We'll have a closer look at that one later. Plus the Derby racers as well, and me and little boy Genius here. He's looking happy. We are chilling on the bench. We've sent the eldest to go and get donuts, and here he comes with donuts, but we have to pick a different ride. I think we are hoping to get on Alice. Quite like Alice, quite nice inside of there. Maybe we'll check the Ghost Train, but it was really, really busy. If not, maybe even back to Icon, to be honest. Or Ice Blast. Ice Blast might call us down. What do you think? He don't mind. Seems that everyone thinks it's Valhalla weather as well because there's a massive queue and we're not at the end of the day yet. Usually the end of the day, everyone rushes to Valhalla to get on it. But they're coming early. They're coming early maybe till they dry off. The effects have been really, really ropey the last couple of years, so it'll be really interesting to see whether they are working. We'll wait for the next boat out and we'll have a look how wet people are getting today. The kids are actually well up for it, so perhaps we will venture into Valhalla at some point. Absolutely soaked. No hold up at all. Absolutely soaked. So we're going Valhalla. We can be prepared to get very, very wet. But it's not one for now. Let's go and check the Ice Blast queue. So of course last time we come here we ended up buying a big one running wheel. So we're looking at the wild mouse. We knew there'd be some wild mouse stuff here. There's some wood. And some of the old running wheels as well. £50 for a little running wheel? Not sure I can justify it to be honest with you, but we'll have a look. We haven't actually had a look at the Icon merchandise yet. We've got to have a look at it, but there's some fantastic new pieces in here.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, that was not Mack ones.
Good about time, but some lovely new merchandise. Anyway, back to the rides. little bit of work going on outside the park here, which has meant that this station is currently closed. We are looking to get on the train later, but we'll have to get it from the other side by Nickelodeon Land. Now, first you saw us do Ice Blast, which is a fantastic ride. I don't really like drop towers, as you know from our trips to Fort Park. I don't like the drop towers, but the shoot ones and drop, I actually quite like them. Mainly because I know when they're coming down, and that's really the key part for me, is not knowing when they come down. But I know when they come down, so I like them, and Ice Blast was brilliant. Just see there is Skyfall. Skyfall's one of our personal favourites, so even my little one still can't quite reach the pedals on it. We're going to give him another go later, but as you can see, people just can't get the hang of holding onto them and getting it to twist, and this is no different. There was barely anyone spinning on there. Now, they've taken away the spins, the count on there, mainly because people weren't doing it, and people that were doing it in excessive force and making themselves dizzy. You know, we got in the 90s every single time we went on it, and yeah, I used to get bruises right here, right there on my shoulders. I had bruises, matching bruises either side, and I thought it was amazing, but apparently it wasn't, and a lot of people complain, which is one of the reasons why you've got to be, although you've got to be 1.2, you've got to have longer arms to reach the pedals, so if you do get uncontrollably out of control, you can control it. Did that make sense? I think it made sense. It made sense in my head anyway. You've got to be able to control the plane if you spin out of control. I think that's the basic of it. And if you're 1.2, your arms aren't quite long enough to reach the pedals to do so. Therefore you can't, which is a real shame, because my little one absolutely loves Skyfall. But he can't go on it. He can't go on it. He's got to grow a little bit more. We think he's 1.4. When we get the Walton Towers later on in a week, fingers crossed, he will be 1.4 and he can get on his very first 1.4 ride. As it stands here, the highest height restriction is 1.32, which is kind of, if you're looking at the big one, you know, it's 1.3 for Icon, but there's nothing at 1.4 meters unless you want to ride back row of Icon. Now then, they've actually gone on Valhalla. The two boys have gone on Valhalla. I've had a little walk around here because there's a 45-minute queue for it, and I'm not feeling getting wet. I've got all the technology held on me. Literally, I've got everything. I've got everything. I've got watches, I've got wallets, I've got everything held on me. So I'm going to skip Valhalla today. Call me what you like, but I'm going to skip it. It is quite a nice day. Hopefully they dry off, because if they don't dry off, they're going to have a really wet evening, because I'm not going to let them change. But they don't know that yet. Feels like their problem. Icon in the background. That is one we're going to go and hit again. I can see the back of Kurt's head as he's in the Valhalla queue line. Now then, I kind of had a look at that. Well, okay, I had another go on Icon for a second time, and Icon, I tell you, it's grown on me. It is an incredible attraction. It doesn't matter where I seem to sit. We're a little bit closer to the front this time. Hopefully going to get a front row seat before the end of the day, but still absolutely brilliant. I do think you get thrown around a little bit more in the back than what you did in the middle, but the twists, the turns are just absolutely fantastic. I really am starting to love Icon as an amazing roller coaster. Now, they say start to like, because obviously it takes quite a long time before you can actually, you know, really get used to it and really, you know, ride a coaster a few times. And, you know, we might hopefully get on it 3 or 4 times today, fingers crossed, providing the queues hold out. But it's going to take another couple of visits this year to really see how Icon beds in as a roller coaster. Oh, they're all really happy it stopped. Little do they know probably of what's going to go on the inside unless they've been on it before. Now then, okay, lovely spray here, which is why I'm going to stand here, because it's nice. Now then, we then had a look around the Icon shop, because believe it or not, I missed it first time. It's not actually attached to the building, so it's kind of good in a way that you can access it quite easily from outside, but it's not good in a way the fact you're not led through it, and there was no one else in there except me. Now then, in there they had t-shirts for $14.95. They also had Icon posters for $14.95, and you don't see many posters anywhere. I'd love a nice poster for my wall, so I might consider getting it. They got a lovely rucksack, and I do need a lovely rucksack. $24.95, which actually I think is really reasonable. Couldn't find out the price of the hoodie, but I'm going to take the kids back in there, see what they think. They've got like sweet jars, and they've got umbrellas and all kinds of random stuff. In fact, this year, without a doubt, we've noticed that the increase in merchandise and their own brand ones is much, much better. And you've got Grand National stuff in there, Revolution stuff in there, like we saw in the other shop earlier. But as it stands now, Icon is definitely one of my top 5 favourites already, and that's without me riding it a few times. I love the way it weaves, I love the speed of it, I love the air time. It's just an amazing ride the way the track bends. Really, really enjoying it. But right now, I'm going to wait for them to come off this beast. There's a few people prepared, but not all of them. And then we'll see. We'll see how wet they are when they get off. We'll catch them as they come through. We'll see how wet they are when they get off. And then we'll find another ride to try them. That's right, for me it's all rainbows. I can see the beginning and the end, mainly because, apart from this little splatter from standing here, I am staying perfectly dry. Now my little one has never been on Valhalla before. Mainly because I didn't want to go on with him. When we normally come, it's raining and it's not normally this lovely weather. But it's Blackpool and it rains quite a lot in Blackpool. But today, it's not raining. So let's see what he makes of it.
I am drenched.
There's a dry patch here.
A little bit.
How are the feet? Oh, yeah.
Well, on the first drop it all goes, well, on the first lift it all goes to the back.
A little wet. Turn around, do a spin. Oh yeah, like that.
So
like that. And Cody, how was that for your first ride on Valhalla?
Horrible.
Were you expecting it to be that wet?
No.
Really? Did you not pay any attention to the people getting off?
Yeah, a little bit.
How are your feet?
Great.
Drenched. Do us a spin. Oh yeah. And it's a good picture as well, isn't it? I can't show it on camera because obviously not supposed to do that, but well done. So you enjoyed it? You want to go on again?
No.
Oh. What about later?
Anyway.
How are you going to walk? Go walk off. Let's see how you walk. How are you going to do it? How are you walking?
cold.
There we have it, Valhalla. Still wet. Very wet. Go on then. Go under it, Kurt. Oh, it caught you straight in the head, didn't it? You, what's it? Kurt, how did you miss that then? Cody, you ain't getting under that. I'll give you a £5 if you get under that without getting wet. No, Cody, move back. Oh, epic fail. Epic fail. Turn around, turn around, turn around.
My bum is wet.
Do you want to wear this? So whilst we wait, first of all, we decided we'd go back on Icon and we went on front row, but we'll talk about that in a minute. We then went on the train to get some great looks of Icon as well, and you can get some spectacular views of Icon from the train. We then decided to come back over to Steeplechase to have a look. Steeplechase was actually closed and then opened just as we arrived. So far past 4 in the afternoon, we managed to get a walk-on ride, and we managed to get on the horses before the youngster. So that's a bit tough. So we're now waiting. Icon, third time we've done it, absolutely amazing. We are going to come back to it because we are expecting them out any time now, and we're going to move on, and we want to go and do Wallace and Gromit again before potentially sort of leaving the park, because we're at the point now where it's becoming to the end of the day. The park's still really, really busy, but we need to crack on and do other things. Here he comes. Smile. Oh, you can't go many places and listen to the Spice Girls, can you? But this is one of them, apparently, Blackpool. So we decided to skip Icon for a 4th time. It's quite a long queue, and we really want to get back on Wallace and Gromit. What you saw beforehand of Nickelodeon Land is all you're going to see today, because we really have no need to go in there. The streak is still on 1 train. Can't remember the last time I saw it on 2 trains. And the Airbender we're not that interested in today. And you know, the other rides are kids' rides, and we're really looking forward to some of the adult rides, which we've done. You know, in Icon, Big One, Big Dipper. What else have we done? Valhalla, of course. I gave Valhalla a miss, obviously, because I'm sensible. But Valhalla, of course, we've done some of the really big rides today, and we've done them a few times. We are nearly dry.
Apart from,
They're nearly dry.
through the fountains.
Yeah, of course, we had the fountain incident, which we might repeat as well on the way back through, because Cody still needs a bit of a head drowning in there. But Wallace and Gromit, when we talk about adult rides, Wallace and Gromit's next, and that is the biggest adult ride here, so let's go do it. So that concludes our day from Blackpool Pleasure Beach. I do hope you've enjoyed it today. We've kind of really focused on Icon, there's no doubt about that. Icon, the new roller coaster, it's only been open 4 days, where I've said the front row is the best. The only one that comes closer is maybe Air Galactica, where you get better views at the front, you'd have to look at people's feet. But in terms of ride quality, it's probably no better at the front. Icon, easily better at the front. The airtime on the front is absolutely insane. It's proper out your seat moments, and you can really feel the launch, particularly the second launch. You know, it's so smooth that you can't feel it that much, but on the front row you really feel the acceleration, and it really drags you and really pulls you along. The ride is super smooth, which is kind of expected. It's a brand new Mack ride, so wasn't really expecting anything less than that, to be honest with you. And it's the first one that we've done of kind of, you know, the modern, you know, sit down kind of looping ones. That's the first one we've done, and we're really, really impressed. Whilst we do want to get out to Europe, you know, our focus is the UK. It's undoubtedly the UK, and probably always will be for the moment. You know, it's nice to travel abroad, but we focus on UK theme parks because that's who we are. We've got a few rides, you know, a few of them were closed. Alice in Wonderland opened just as we were leaving the park there at 5:30. Park's open until 7, but we've decided now to go and get something to eat off park because it's quite expensive in park. It's a beautiful day here, I mean, as you can see now, beautiful day. And we've had an absolute cracking day. We've had a fairly good ride count, we've really enjoyed ourselves, kids have had a whale of a time. You know, there's a lot of family groups in there, the park has been really, really busy, which is great for them to see. Icon's had a steady queue all day, only on 2 trains as well, and even with 2 trains from a near full queue, it can clear that in 15-20 minutes. Music for Icon is incredible, as expected. But from Blackpool Pleasure Beach, I hope you've enjoyed our vlog today, and we will see you next time.